A tragic case of adult onset Tourette's. That's what I have. All right, I'm on page 11. You can see I've refined the drawing a bit. Possibly not enough. But it's fine. It's fine. I've got my lettering in place for the whole page. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panels. I think this, on top of some of the other pages, has done away with my dreams of maybe doing this as an ash can. I could probably still do it. I mean, I'm using a large enough font throughout. So let's get into inking page 11. I'm on page 11. Well, let me start with this. We're going to start with panel borders because it's good to have a standard procedure. Yeah. My third panel is borderless, but it's not exactly an open panel. It's our flashback scene, so it's going to have some wavy borders. Oh, but there is a narration box in there. This is the flashback scene. He's recalling that Van Ruin was able to take the robot's hand and fly it away. I'm hoping that carries. He's escaping from prison. I'm hoping this looks like a prison watchtower along with the barbed wire. Every single panel and every single page in my personal philosophy of comics has to impart new information that is vital to the story. In fact, if you're not imparting new information, you may be doing the wrong thing. Now there is a opposing philosophy, which you could see in Scott McCloud and shown in anime, which shows panels that are drawn to evoke a mood or time passing, or to change a mood. But I think those are really the same thing. I think that that's kind of along the same idea. Although the examples in the Scott Cloud book are not great. But if you look at some of, well, as my example is using Tezuka, reading Life of the Buddha, which is really cool. You can see some amazing panels. Let's see if I can show you one. Hang on. I might end up having to download it. But off of my Kindle. Just the opening scenes of let's go with volume 1. Well, it's going to be downloading for a while. I want to show you this amazing sequence of I guess he's a monk, a Brahmin monk, who is traveling and he collapses and the animals save him, and there's kind of an interesting sequence. Alright, what's closest? What's closest is some trees. This line weight is fine if it's on the other side. It's not a good idea to have that line weight on the top side because it's still sunny out. I've got to figure the best getting into miniatures painting and miniatures again and wargaming in general. I just got this in today, which is, can you see it? No, you can't. The Solo Wargaming Guide. This was recommended to me by Mike DeBaggio, and I will be checking it out. There's really no like, for me, like perfect choice for which set of skirmish rules to use for sci-fi. There is one for fantasy. The perfect set of skirmish rules for fantasy for me is the Song of Blades and Heroes, and then I also like a version called Dungeon Scum, which is it's not just rules, but it's also like, it's like a whole sort of packaged board game. You know what? I just realized I screwed up. I'm on the wrong layer. I'm still on layer 1. Well, we gotta fix that. Easily done. Just have to bring it up here. Okay. Now I'm back on the right layer. These are these prickly trees, prickle bushes. Oof. The prickly bushes are first shown in Escape from Westworld. I actually kind of went through and I had a bunch of desert plants that I had in a sketchbook. Typical desert plants, and I've been leaning on those, using those. The problem is it's been a while since I drew that first one, so a couple of months, June perhaps. So if you're improving at a fast pace, you may find a better way of doing something. And then suddenly your trees look different. And here I'm kind of going for a Jendy Tartovsky semi-abstract. And we're not going too far with this, This is a prickly pear. Here's another prickly pear over here. The thing about prickly pears is you can make a lot of them. There's whole acres covered with prickly pears, depending on where you go. and we're revealing some of the secret. So spoilers are over if you've been following this comic just because you wanted to see the spoilers. It all has to do with this robot hand. That's Gallows' plan. I'm going to give it like a hint of some kind of machinery inside. The these sort of plates that we're doing, I haven't done this very well, but you can kind of use them as contour lines to describe the basically the disposition of the curved surface, right? I think I was going to do the same thing but higher up, but maybe I won't do it higher up. Right, how does it look so far? You want to be paying attention to the different textures of the materials. So this is kind of a metal texture as opposed to the plant texture. As opposed to this is supposed to be a leaf. I think like a lot of my pages, it's going to be another complicated one. Shouldn't be that bad though. When you get in close, you get embarrassed. See, I made all these mistakes. There we go. All right, there's some leaves. It's not just all about the figures, you know, you gotta get everything else good too. Okay, here's the wrist. There's the full outline of the hand. Silhouettes and shapes are really important. As I was drawing this today, one of the benefits of not kind of doing everything at once but sort of spreading it out is you can kind of think of new story ideas, like why is this robot hand here? And my original explanation of why it's here is they're on the very edge of this collapsing dimensional edge, and maybe it got deposited here or something like that. But given that it's been used before as a sort of disguised escape device, I think it's plausible that Van Ruin, this guy, left it there on purpose just in case of emergency. It's just the sort of thing he would do. Alright, now I even thought maybe he's using some of his supervillain predictive power. Maybe he left it there on purpose just to save, not Rabbit Fighter, but maybe Gallows, who he's had as an enemy for many years. So having it determined, where does it go when, if they actually are able to take this to escape, where does it go? Well, actually, there's no telling where it goes, I think. And the reason for that is they really did, this guy, Gallows, really did destroy the portal matrix in a comic I created a couple of years ago, so that's what got them stranded in the first place. Alright, this is going to improve the silhouette. We're going to leave a gap. Gaps like that make it interesting. In fact, we could do the same thing right here. Alright, let's see what it looks like so far. And when you pull off the background, it's starting to look pretty credible. Although I think my lines are still just a bit too crude. There has to be, maybe there's a sense of aging that it's missing, or I can make it look rusty, a little more dented. of times it's just a matter of chasing down all the angles or anything weird that you left out, which is plenty of stuff, plenty of stuff. In fact, I've got this exactly wrong on this shadow, so I'm going to do that. Alright. Yeah, it's looking good. Okay, let's do some more working on the silhouette here. These are sort of these big barrel fingers. This is going to show kind of an overlap angle. There we go. Seems likely that I won't even get to the figure today. At least on video. I might get to it later on tonight. I'm still messing with the silhouette shape. Too pointy. How about that? My fingers are curled slightly upwards. Alright, we got a good start here. Somewhere we got to kind of hint in that there's a hidden panel that can be opened on the hand. In fact, in a future page, maybe a future panel, they might even have Gallo say something like that. It's just like Van Ruin to have a escape vehicle staged right near the dimensional exit. Makes perfect sense. All right. I'm going to pull that layer off for just a second. I think we're starting to get the outlines, but I think this tree's got problems. The tree doesn't stand in front of it, it should stand up. You know, it's like, so we should have a much better sort of thing here.
Hi, I need an invoice for the Holy Cedar letter. And poor Miriam is like, not understanding of it, see if you can figure it out.
The contour lines
It looks like it's for the,
here
you have a lot more
should help us hint
in here than
at sort of the standing angle of the plant. The contour lines are,
just for the international.
they're built into the bark and the spines of the leaves.
I have that it was $3,000 to clean up the list.
All right.
That's what was approved by the client.
All right, there we go.
Okay, so I think then that was somehow, I sent you an email and I thought you said received, so I assumed it was both.
I didn't.
Using my eraser to just kind of knock out areas.
PO and their folder do not match. Oh, yeah, there's okay. And then the purchase order.
So I can show the vegetation.
But yeah, the AAs are.
My real problem though is, and I have this problem
And
always,
also, you build separately for the senior mailing.
is always the line width, the line weight.
Oh, I guess you're doing each one separately. I don't know.
Yeah,
Did you price them separately?
I think we did.
Okay, we're getting close to the end of this one.
It's $220.
Senior letter.
I could even give a hint of some machinery inside.
Mailing, CPS, non-CPS. Who's this? Ouch, I can't see.
Using the eraser tool.
Seems like that was the other.
Alright, it's starting to come together. I think this tree is too thick. We can fix that up by adding more vegetation down below. And cutting out any confusing areas. How about right here? Overgrown with the tall grass. Just a tuft of it. This one, so I like these three fingers, they have the same kind of uniform look. And then for some reason my pinky got a little pointy, so let's make sure that they all have kind of a uniform robotic look to them.
Yeah, I don't know, the company made it, but I'm gonna have a choice in the matter. Price.
I'm not sure about this one.
Wait a minute. How is it that I have, oh, this must have been when we, no, because it doesn't match.
Alright, we're going to show some more contour lines to show that the hand has depth on the ground.
Colby College senior letter. Oh, postage?
It was posted.
Oh, that's nothing, that doesn't matter. Because that was-
There we go.
Oh,
Now if you're going to ride this thing out of here, where would you put the access panel? You designed a giant robot. The giant robot attacks, but it shoots off one of its hands, and then you can use the hand as like a remote vehicle.
the bids.
Maybe something like that. Ooh, how about like that? The concept of the transforming robot.
I have to have it, right? Senior letters over. That should go here in inventory.
Oh, wait. Let's just put a couple more prickly pears right up front.
Thanks.
This looks like it's emitting light, which I don't want to do yet. So let's just leave it at that. Okay. And I'll use the eraser tool one more time. If we were doing this traditionally, we would use white out, or in my case, Copic white, which is what I use for my white cover-up. Alright, I think we're at a good enough stopping point for right now. We are at 34 minutes. What's left on this picture is going to be Gallows up here in the upper right. I need to get in and really focus on him. We don't really see his face because we have him. This is an overhead shot and he's wearing a cowboy hat, so I want to play a little bit on those shadows that creates. I gotta do something in this background. I had ideas of trees, the little scratchy, scraggly trees. I think there's one back here in the other picture. Although I will admit I don't feel too bound by the old image. I'm much more concerned about the the full composition effect here. And I'm making sure my text is in a good place, which I think it is. I think we're good. The only one I'm worried about is this panel right here. A lot of text. I think I can pull it off though. Alright, we're going to keep going. Please like, follow, and subscribe as we get into page 11. And next time you see me, I should have more of this done. And hopefully I'll be moving into these other fiddly panels. Looking forward to all of them. This one especially looks like a fun panel to do. I got the hand started. Alright, talk to you later.